Another week, another pollution problem along Durban's coastline, it seems. Recently, it was south of the city in Isipingo with dead fish washing up on the shores of the lagoon there. Now there's a problem just north of Durban, which we believe is killing fish as well, and has led to the closure of some of the city's top beaches. Added to that, concerns about the quality of tap water in some parts of Durban. I'm joined by Desmond D'Sa of the South Durban Community Environment Alliance. Desmond, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with the most recent problem, and that's what's happening north of Durban, in the Umgeni area near Blue Lagoon, I understand. What actually is happening? What has led to the closure of beaches? Why are the fish dying there?
Well, good evening, and good evening to the listeners. Look, the fish are dying because they are lacking oxygen, and that's because the sewage that's been emitted from the sewage works in Durban are not operating. The pumps are giving up, and that smothers them from breathing. So the fish are trying to get up into the water to breathe, and they're not making it, and they're dying. I was called out there early on Monday morning by fishermen saying there were tons of fish dead here. Please, can you come out and have a look? I went out there. I met with the groups from the River Conservancy. This is not the first time, Sally, that this is happening in the Umgeni River, but also in other parts of Durban, where many fish have been killed. Tons of fish have been killed. The pumps are not operating. We would have thought that government by now, after the incident that occurred at Isipingo a few weeks ago, that government would have ordered the pumps, ordered spare parts, and start maintaining the plant. But that is not the case, despite the officials and the mayor of Durban saying that the problem has been dealt with. They are on top of it. Clearly, that is not the case. There's no one on top of it, and lots of fish are dying, and people's livelihood has been affected. They cannot put food on the table. I spoke to hundreds of fishermen on Saturday and Sunday, and they said to me that, look, we cannot catch any fish. The beaches are now closed. We're not allowed to take any fish home. So the problem is that the fish are contaminated. We have a major event coming to Durban this week, and it starts between the big two cities, Pietermaritzburg and Durban. It's a Comrades Marathon where over 20,000 people are coming to the city. So that by all the beaches being closed, it just means that they must not go near the beaches. They mustn't even go and swim near the beaches. We've seen in the past that fishermen have taken fish home that is highly polluted and they've got sick. So my advice would be stay away from the beaches, or if you do go to the beach and walk along the promenade, please do not swim there. Please do not take any water back home to Johannesburg or Gauteng, wherever you're coming from, to Durban. Please do not take that water. That water is contaminated with a high E. coli level, 100 times more than anywhere else in South Africa at the present moment.
It's a really distressing picture
because
beaches,
yeah,
I mean, because you're explaining to us this is an environmental disaster, but it's also an economic disaster for those fishers, the fisher people who eat the fish and who sell the fish, but for tourism. I mean, Durban has to get back on its feet. It's very distressing. You've told us now about the latest problem in Umgeni, saying that it's about the sewage works, not the pumps are just not working properly. So the sewage flows into the river and causes problems also in the sea itself. I wonder if while we're on that, you could talk to us about the latest on Isipingo, which of course is south of Durban, and that was a problem a few weeks back. You've just mentioned it. Is that area cleared up now? Have fish stopped dying? Are the fish safe to eat?
From the reports that are coming through, Sally, we haven't got back to the basics as far as the sewage works have been fixed or the pumps have been done up. It's clear that the fish are still serious, and I would advise people not to eat any fish coming out of the Isipingo lagoon, because that fish is still contaminated. They haven't cleared the lagoon at all, and that will take a few weeks before we can get back the results. I think the city needs to be open and transparent. They need to get the water analyzed and probably ask an independent parastatal like the CSIR to take water samples consistently and then share that with the society at large so people can be assured that the water is clear. and that it's within a healthy reason that they can go back and swim there, or as the traditional healers go there to the water, they can go and baptize themselves and drink the water. But at this moment, I would say, stay clear of all the beaches, do not go into the water, do not go into Isipingo, because the results are showing high E. coli level.
Oh, that's really distressing.
There's quite a number of beaches, over 10 beaches in Durban that have been affected.
And then even more concerning is there's worry about the quality of tap water. And of course, this is because we've heard about the death of this Durban mother, Rashni Bajnath. Her family is saying that her severe diarrhea and ultimate death, they believe it was caused by contaminated tap water. We've heard about tap water problems. I think it's in Birchwood, Marion Hill. Just talk to me about Durban tap water. I mean, how safe is it? What's the story?
Well, look, you know, like the sanitation and sewage works, the water department is the same department that manages your sanitation and sewage works. So you can imagine, clearly to us, that they have not maintained these plants and the water has not been treated properly. Durban used to have one of the best water treatment plants, and we used to drink the water without any fear or favor. But clearly now the advice would be, please boil all the water you get from the Durban waterworks, because we've had huge problems with the waterworks. This has been through, again, a lack of maintenance, and the treatment hasn't been properly done. And the other very important thing, Sari, might I say, Durban has lost a lot of skilled employees that were working and maintaining all these plants and also managing all these plants. Those people are all gone. So we don't have the required skill to manage Durban's waterworks. And we see the same thing happening with Umgeni Water, that the required skill is not there. And I think government needs to really look at all that there and try and bring back all the skilled labor they have so we can fix the problem once and for all. But it needs the political will of our political fathers in Durban to say, well, look, we have a problem. Let us go out, let us go and rehire skilled people and get them to sort the problem out.
Thank you for giving us that update, Desmond. Not very good news, but important news. It has to be dealt with. Desmond D'Sa of the South Durban Community Environment Alliance talking to us, sharing concerns about what's happening with the closure of beaches, E. coli in the water, but also real concerns about the quality of tap water in parts of Durban.